Hello everybody, I'm so grateful to have you here watching this video unfold. Today I was on my phone, as you do. I was on my phone and I was on this app called By Rotation, which sparked my inspiration to film a video and give you more of an insight about the app itself. So if you're not familiar with By Rotation, it is a fashion rental app which promotes this idea of sustainable fashion. So it prohibits, fast fashion, and the aim essentially is for clothes to be reworn, so you would actually have the opportunity to rent out your clothes for others to wear. This video is not sponsored, by the way. However, if anyone from By Rotation is watching, you have my channel, you have my details, please bear me in mind. Okay, but in all seriousness, the app was founded in 2019 by Ashita Kabra Davies when she was in Rajasthan in northwest of India. So she actually saw the influx of fast fashion and how clothes are just being wasted of, disposed of, and it's just so common. So this actually sparked the idea in her to create the app which we know as By Rotation, which is actually the leading app in sustainable fashion, in fashion rental services. I am rather proud to be someone who does actually rent out my clothes on here. So I mainly rent out special occasion clothes, such as ones for Asian, Indian, Pakistani weddings. So they're more catered, they're more kind of niche, but they're more, wedding wear for those events, like, desi wear. Or I also rent out just special occasion dresses, such as Christmas nights out and just general special occasion dresses. It is mainly dresses. I just had to do a little bit of shameless promo there for myself. So there you go. If anyone has any weddings coming up or a special occasion, please do keep me in mind, keep me in your mind. That would be much appreciated. I will just put a couple of examples up on the screen. So the green lehenga and the red lehenga, which could be worn to an Indian wedding, for example. I actually wore both of these to an Indian wedding. I was very fortunate to go to an Indian wedding last year it was like end of April to start of May. I actually went to an Indian wedding over multiple days. It was very, very fortunate. I will like never forget it. It will always be so highly in my mind. I know you're probably thinking, okay, we get it, but for me it really I could like go on and on, basically, is what I'm trying to say about how amazing it was. So this also leads me nicely into how the idea came about for me, a little bit of an origin story for my page itself. So my rental services, essentially it all started in the beginning.
In the beginning.
You know the feeling after that you have is just so amazing after going to the event itself, but also being surrounded by others who are wearing just this beautiful clothes. Like, I just really felt inspired. The memories of the day were just so amazing, and I just thought I would just love for someone else to feel like just how amazing I did on the day, if that makes sense. So I just, and also knowing that the outfits wouldn't likely, as sad as it is, but they wouldn't likely be worn that many times each year. Although if anyone's got a wedding coming up, please keep me in mind again. There's so many things you should keep me in mind for, but yeah. I'd love to wear them again, but yeah. So yeah, I had it in my mind. I'd love to wear all the outfits again. And not only that, I also thought I would love for the outfits to just get reworn somehow. So I ended up looking into fashion rental services that you could rent out your outfits on, because I couldn't part with the outfits. That's something about me. I find it hard to part with outfits. in general, outfits, you know, a special occasion outfit. I just like to hold on to outfits that I have a memory, you know, a significant memory about, you know. I'm not that as much of a hoarder, so I had to finish the sentence there. Not as much of a hoarder as I make out to be. Yeah, and the other reason just being, so I would have loved for someone else to for the outfits to be reworn. Ever since I used to just buy packages for the fun of it, I used to love all you know, the ASOS, the H&M, everything. I used to just keep a lot of the outfits, but I found that I just didn't wear them much, and I just wanted some, and I just was in the need rather for some pieces that would just stand the test of time. Half of the time I wouldn't even feel happy about receiving that many parcels after I've already had 10 other parcels come within the past month. You know what I mean? It had to end at some point. All good things come to an end, and I wasn't actually feeling that much happier with all of these new clothes, trendy clothes. The pieces could be described as fast fashion, so I quickly just ended that in COVID time, and I also because of boredom because of COVID, but yeah. So it was also spiked because of the boredom in COVID. Anyone else? No? So yeah. Some people started businesses in COVID. I just ordered a bunch of fast fashion outfits. I'm not really proud to say it now. However, we can all change. So yeah, I only did that for a few months in my defense. But anyway, there we go, it happened. So yeah, I do like more capsule pieces now. I do enjoy that more. Anyway, I do really like By Rotation's message of being more sustainable, helping the fashion industry in that sense, in terms of just re-wearing clothes, helping people's banks as well. That is a great one too. But yeah, just standing up for what's right in terms of like workers' fairness rights and, you know, equality in terms of how workers are treated, because how can we be in 2025 and brands, you kind of know the big ones are just still treating their workers like garbage. It just does not make any sense, and they're giving them like no money to rework, etc. The list kind of goes in, it's a whole other video. So yeah, By Rotation really just spoke to me. So I really just wanted to get on the app. I was really keen to begin renting out my clothes, so that's what I do now. So now in the video I will just tell you a little bit more about By Rotation, the process, how it works, how you can get involved if you have some clothes you would like to rent out, or if you've never heard of the rental app and you want to rent out clothes yourself, this video is for you. I will just give you a very brief rundown, and we will, as the video kind of goes on, I will then delve into some of these points further. So just a very brief rundown of the rental process itself. So when you are looking to rent something out, essentially what will happen is you will inquire about it, so send messages. So for me on the other end, I will receive messages for someone who's interested in, for example, a red Lena. If someone's interested in renting out the red Lena, for example, on my page, they will send a message through, usually asking a few questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. They will then put in a request to rent out the item. So it will look like this on my screen. So I will usually accept or deny this request. 99.9% I do accept it. Only the one instance I forgot to charge for an additional fee of something, and that was just when I was new to the app. So you either accept or deny, given that you have spoken to the potential renter beforehand, and that is as simple as it is. And then you will essentially, and then you as the rental service, as you are the person who's providing the rental, you will then arrange to package up the parcel, the item or items in time for I usually do the day before the suggested date of when the rental starts. So for example, we're on Monday today. If somebody wanted an item in time for Thursday, I would then send this out for Tuesday, tracked next day delivery. It ensures that it gets there for Wednesday so that the renter has it in time for for when the rental starts, if that makes sense. So yeah, essentially you wouldn't charge really for half day. It would be the day before. I would advise doing the day before the rental starts. I think that this is how majority of people operate on the app when renting out their clothes. In terms of pricing for buy rotation, you can charge daily, weekly, and monthly. What the app essentially works out for you is this suggested price. So this essentially takes the recommended retail price, also known as the RRP, and it takes the overall price essentially, which was paid for the item, and it calculates the daily, weekly, or monthly prices. So the buy rotation app basically suggests the daily, weekly, and monthly prices based on the RRP of the item. I hope that that makes sense. Although you can definitely amend whatever price you charge, daily, weekly, or monthly. It's definitely within your capability if you do choose to rent out clothes on buy rotation. It's within your means to charge however much or little you wish to do so. This feature of buy rotation offering suggested prices I feel is rather helpful, and it is useful especially for those who have never rented out an item before or are just very much in the dark of how much to price your rental pieces for. You can charge for extras such as an additional cleaning fee. So I believe mine is set to £6. I'll put this on the screen. So it just appears here. It is in plain black and white. It's clearly stated. So they come up whenever you're putting in a rental request. It will show any additional extras will be shown before you request to rent out an item. So there's no hidden terms and conditions, it's very clearly stated. So yeah, I believe my rental fee is £6. I believe my rental fee, I wish. So for me, the cleaning fee is a few pounds that I just charge in addition to the item itself, just because for any stains, just for erring on the side of caution in case the item gets really badly stained, and just in case a stain can't really come out, it's still faintly there, just that I'm paying, for, a dry cleaning service in order to get the stain out. Or just in the instance where I do think that an item requires dry cleaning, I would pay to get it done at, a wedding specialist dry cleaning service, which will charge, I think, also a lot more than what the cleaning fee is. You are suggested by buy rotation to only put this if it has embellishments, if it's very delicate. So if it costs, it's more on high end of pricing, just to err on the side of caution, you should be just adding in a cleaning fee. I actually will post a video of how I do hand clean my items, so I'll just put up a little video here just to show you a snippet, a clip of the video of me cleaning the green Lena in the bathtub. So I hope that you did enjoy that snippet. I just honestly just clean them in the bathtub. However, this does take, an evening from work. It does take a few hours. It can take between 1.5 hours to 2 hours, 2.5 hours between cleaning the item in the bath. I think that's relatively slow, but I do let it soak in there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not cleaning it vigorously for 2 hours, but I am just letting it sit there. So it is a process of, and then cleaning the bath after, it is it's a process, but I will go into more detail when I post this video. Hopefully someone's interested to watch that. And just for a little bit of proof that I do actually clean the items, so myself, the items are definitely cleaned in between, because being sanitary and hygienic is probably the most important thing once I deliver in a high quality service. Another additional cost that you can charge on the buy rotation app is the option to charge for the postage fee. So I do this in order to pay for tracked Royal Mail next day delivery. So I charge a fee for this. As you'll see on the screen, this is what I charge. You can just basically go along with what the Royal Mail rates are. or on any other postage app, but definitely one that offers next day delivery, preferably with tracked delivery as well. Luckily though, although I do get the packages sent via tracked delivery, luckily no package has gotten missing. Touch wood. So yeah, no package has got missing, so that is all good. In addition to renting out clothes, you also, if you wish to do so, you also have the option to resell the item or any items that you wish to resell for a specific price. Again, you input the RRP, and by rotation will then give you a suggested resale price similar to other apps which you do just resell clothes for. So it does give you, by rotation does have the option of reselling as well as renting out clothes if you do wish. If you find, for instance, an item is just not being rented out and you want to give, you just are doing a wardrobe declutter, a wardrobe clear out, and you would like to resell an item, you have the option there. That is basically the process of by rotation. I would say it's relatively straightforward, especially for new users. The by rotation terms and conditions and the rental process article on their website explains what I've told you today in this video, just in a bit more depth, and just might answer some frequently asked questions on there. I will ensure to link this in the description and any other relevant information which I find. For those interested in renting out their own clothes, I would just advise, as someone who's done this for just over 1 year now, my general tips would be 3 things. So you can literally rent out your clothes as long as you, in my opinion, as long as you are happy for other people to wear your clothes and you just have this general motivation of just renting out your clothes to promote more sustainable fashion. I think if you have that drive, you'll generally do really well. And just because you'll have the motivation to take photos of the items where required, just have, a drive to do this. Number 2, you will also thrive as well. If you generally just have the time, especially in the summer where, I'm especially most busy in the summer months, with wedding seasons upon us in the summer more so than the winter. So if you have just a lot more time in the summer, if you're not going away for weeks and weeks on end, you do have time to package it up in time. Sometimes for very short notice, you're able to package things up within a short time period. So sometimes, I've had women ask me, it's okay if I get this within 2 days, and you have to, thankfully I was at home when I get the message, but it's if you're not at home, you just need to have the drive to be attentive to this and have some free time. You're happy to clean the items as well, hand wash or take it to the dry cleaner, figure out ways to do that. You definitely, I would say it definitely helps to ensure, a smooth running of your rental service. And the third one that I would say definitely helps for you to just be a generally friendly, positive individual, just generally to have that customer serving approach to things, and just definitely just be a very empathetic person in terms of answering questions, just being open and honest with the items in which you are renting out. If you could do all those 3 things, I would say that you're really good to go, and just there's definitely a lot more that would help if you are, but they are my 3 main things that I definitely strive to be when renting out my clothes anyway. Another piece of advice I would give to those renting out their clothes is I personally would recommend to just go above and beyond for those who are interested in your clothes. So whether this is someone who's asking about sizing, I would be all hands on deck, giving them the measurements for my outfits. So I would recommend saving these to just a notes app such as iPhone Notes, as that is my saving grace. That's my saving grace. I put all my notes on there, or OneNote. So I would use either one of them in order to just put down, frequently asked questions. Anytime someone asks a new question, I'll just quickly add it to that, and then it's done and dusted. So it's just all on there. It's got a nice track record, if you will, of the frequently asked questions. Even if the person does not ask any questions, you are all hands on deck. You know, you're able to respond with suggestions of what else to wear, whether that's footwear, whether that's bangles, whether that's jewellery, whether you're suggesting a bag that they could wear, just anything, a jacket to put on top, whether you're, obviously if it's in the summer you don't need it, even in the UK. And then even one that I would recommend maybe going above and beyond. For example, you could mention what other people wore on the night, you know, just reassuring that, for example, Indian weddings are usually quite colourful unless there's a dress code stated on the wedding invite. But usually they're rather colourful, and you definitely just maybe reassuring the person that you won't feel out of place. Like if you wear this, like you won't look out of place or anything, like you will blend right in, and just, yeah, for example, just being reassuring in that way. It's just definitely so important. It's like crucial to see yourself from the other person's point of view, and just being very polite and friendly and everything while doing so. So I definitely strive to go above and beyond for anyone. I do enjoy doing that generally, so this is like a layer added to that of me wanting to provide a good service. I definitely try to like prioritize the whoever is renting from me, and just the service that I provide is definitely top tier. It helps to have notifications on as well for when you get messages. So yeah, mine usually come through Gmail and or the Buy Rotation app. So I definitely ensure to not miss any messages which come through. One of the questions I commonly get asked is regarding my measurements. So regarding particularly for the tops, because a lot of the skirts, especially if it's one of these two layers, as shown before, one of these two layers, the skirts are actually tie waist, so they do fit a variety of sizes. However, the tops are, some of them have actually been tailored to my body type. So I cannot stress enough, I cannot express enough how helpful it is to just, write down the measurements and provide a clear, seamless line of communication, because otherwise you might just get the item sent back, it might not fit, or it just avoids any nicks, any bumps in the road for when the other person, receives the item. And yeah, you just want to ensure that they're also not panicking. Again, put yourself in the other person's shoes, that the person's not panicking, that the item doesn't fit, and then the wedding event is the next day, and it's just, they have under a day to find an outfit. So yeah, I definitely like to just clarify my measurements, even if nobody asks. It's like a no one asked, but I will still come and say it, like what I do in most of my videos. I just like come and say things even if no one asks. But yeah, I will apply that to my measurements, and I will just let everybody know my measurements so that everyone knows my measurements. Okay, just to be polite and friendly just goes a very, very long way, as whether or not the person ends up renting out the outfit or not. I did thoroughly enjoy filming this little insight into the fashion rental service known as Buy Rotation. Please do let me know if you have any further questions so that we can continue the conversation in the comments. Thank you so much as always for being here, and I shall hopefully see you again. Bye!